Do you know what happens when evil parents shockingly realize that they've been caught? If you see these signs of evil parents, run fast, just like this little girl did.
Ran away from home.
Okay, do you know where you are?
I'm actually in California, Paris.
Do you know what street you're on?
No.
A 911 operator in Riverside County receives a puzzling call from a confused child, unaware of the impending horrors. In the early hours of January 14, 2018, a home security camera in Paris, California, captures a young child, 17-year-old Jordan Turpin, fleeing a suburban house. Jordan runs down the driveway, gaining speed on the sidewalk, disappearing from view. Despite planning for this moment for almost 2 years, she is unaware of the impact her actions will have on her family's future. Another person, older, emerges from the house, heading in the opposite direction only to return and re-enter the house. Meanwhile, Jordan reaches a corner down the block, stopping beneath a stop sign, hands shaking as she dials 911 for help. The operator engages in a brief conversation with her, only to realize that the situation requires the involvement of the sheriff's department. She politely asks Jordan to hold on for a moment while she transfers the call. Jordan agrees and finds herself standing in the darkness, filled with a mix of adrenaline and fear, anxiously waiting for her parents to emerge from the shadows. The operator requests that Jordan spells out her last name, and although she misspells it twice, the operator tries to clarify by asking, Turtn? Jordan acknowledges the mistake and asks for the operator's address. After a brief pause, the operator assures her, just give me a minute, I'll sort this out. Jordan takes a moment to catch her breath, gathering her courage before providing the best answer she can. Surprisingly, it was later disclosed that Jordan had never set foot in a school or received any form of formal education. Despite this, her ability to contribute anything at all was truly remarkable. The operator proceeded to inquire about Jordan's whereabouts before delving into the main issue with a few more questions.
I might be.
Is there a street sign? Is there a pole with two names at the top?
I just see a stop sign.
Okay, can you go over and stand right at that stop sign?
Yes.
Deputy Anthony Calici arrived at the curb after finishing a long graveyard shift, stepping out of his vehicle to approach a small, disheveled figure standing alone in the darkness.
My two little sisters right now, chained up.
How old are they?
11 and 14. They're chained up because they stole mother's food.
Despite her evident struggle to articulate her thoughts, Jordan bravely persists in sharing as much information as she can, all while grappling with a noticeable level of apprehension.
Do you want to know why they stole mother's food?
Why?
Okay. All we ever eat, for probably 2 straight years or 3 or more, but we always eat the same things.
It is clear that Jordan's lack of exposure to the outside world becomes evident when she admits her unfamiliarity with even the most fundamental health terms.
Any medication?
What's medication?
Medication?
Yeah, what's medication?
Do you take pills? Do you take pills?
Oh, I don't think I've ever taken a pill before.
Okay.
She continued, revealing despicable information about the mother.
Mother treats them right. They go out every day when she goes out, but she takes turns sometimes. It's 2 right now.
Here, the 911 operator starts to ask about their residents in other states.
Other states?
Yeah, Texas.
Did they act like this when you lived in Texas?
They acted different.
According to Texas neighbors, the family relocated to Texas in the late 1990s and kept to themselves until a decade later, when they abruptly left in the middle of the night, leaving their dogs abandoned in a mobile home. The shocking discovery revealed that the dogs had resorted to surviving on used diapers amidst the filth and padlocked doors and refrigerator. It was later revealed that the Turbins had left most of their children behind for 3 years while they lived nearby, only visiting once a week to provide minimal food. As the deputies listened to the distressing details, they called for backup and escorted Jordan to the police car, assuring her that she would not have to face her parents during the journey back to the family home. Jennifer Turbin, Jordan's 29-year-old sister, had previously attempted to escape when the Turbin family resided in Texas. However, Lacking education or identification, she was eventually forced to return home and face immediate punishment.
Are there any weapons in the house?
Yes, but they don't use it.
How long have your mom and dad been married?
I don't know, probably 20, I don't know. They got married when she was 16.
Jordan is discussing her mother, Louise Turbin, who is 49 years old. According to Louise's sisters, Louise ran away from home with David when she was only 16 years old. David came from a highly respected and influential family in their hometown, which is why Louise's parents approved of the marriage. As a result, all their children have the same biological parents. According to David's parents, the reason why they had so many children was because both Louise and David were deeply religious in the Pentecostal faith, even though they didn't attend a church service or have one nearby their home.
Terrified. We don't really have a way. Everyone's always looking. There's always somebody.
Well, you said your mom's always gone, right?
Right.
Well,
But
why don't you just leave?
either she leaves one of the older ones there, and our house, it makes the beeping noise.
The constant beeping was actually the smoke detector's low battery alert in the Turbin's home. Jordan thought it was security alarms. Deputy Kalichi led the other officers to the scene as the sun rose on a chilly January morning. They knocked on the front door and asked questions to the mother.
Otherwise, we wouldn't be knocking on your door
Did she
at
say
Sunday.
her name?
I don't know. Did she say her name?
I don't know offhand, but we
We
need
don't
to
know.
check.
We just need to check and make sure everybody's okay.
As the officers prepared to conduct a search without a warrant, they are aware of the urgent circumstances surrounding the situation. Courts typically consider the timing of the search to determine if it was necessary for officers to act immediately without obtaining a warrant. They also take into account factors such as the possibility of the suspect being armed, the likelihood of escape, and the presence of a serious crime being committed. In this particular case, the officers encounter a shocking scene as they enter the home, with every inch of the 2,388 square feet covered in decaying food and trash. The nauseating smell of human waste fills the air, and amidst the filth, they notice numerous unopened boxes and packages containing children's toys and new clothing. The officers proceed to the rear of the residence where they found the children's bedrooms. The first room was small, containing only narrow bunk beds. The second room was also cramped, with both bunk beds and a dirty mattress on the floor where two young girls sat quietly. The officers are confident that they have located the room that was shown in Jordan's phone, but they realize that the actual chains are missing. The children, clearly frightened and suspicious of strangers, refuse to provide any answers. However, one child eventually discreetly points them towards a sliding closet door. Meanwhile, Officer Ogden remains near the door, engaging David and Louise in conversation to distract them. As Officer Ogden's eyes adjust to the dim lighting, he notices something to his left and suddenly realizes that David Turbin may have had a reason to stand awkwardly in that specific spot in the entryway. He wonders if there is another bedroom in the back and asks if there are some more children asleep in there. The officer enters the previously unnoticed third bedroom and discovers a boy who is chained to the top bunk bed by his wrists and ankles. In the girls' room, Officer Rodriguez opens the closet door and peers inside.
All right, let's just go ahead and detain the parents at this point.
Nothing hidden in the bra or anything. Okay, just making sure, because we have some people that do that. So we just want to make sure.
Like I said, I've never been in trouble.
Okay.
As the parents were held in custody, officers continued their search within the confines of the house, desperately seeking the key that will unlock the chains binding the child. The young boy was eventually released, while all 13 Turbin children were rushed to the hospital for treatment due to severe malnutrition and injuries. Despite appearing to be under 18, more than half of the children were actually adults between the ages of 18 and 29 years old. The children were suffering from cognitive impairment and nerve damage from prolonged malnutrition. Investigators discovered that the children were psychologically tormented with food as their parents would buy food items but not allow them to eat. Unopened toys found in the home were bought to taunt the children. None of the children received education beyond that of an average third grader. David Turbin falsely claimed to be running a school for the children at the home. During one of their rare outings, a stranger approached them and asked about their behavior. Jennifer, the oldest daughter, explained that they enjoyed pointing out things in Deuteronomy, believing they had the right to do so. However, when questioned by authorities, both parents were unable to provide a valid reason for the treatment of their children. Louise, in particular, seemed confused by the interrogation. Later, from her jail cell, she wrote a letter to her children expressing remorse and promising a better future. David, on the other hand, expressed gratitude for his children and claimed that his homeschooling and discipline were well-intentioned. He hoped that his children would remain close and support each other since he and their mother couldn't be there for them. When it was time for the children to speak in court, Joy, one of the daughters, defended their parents, stating that they loved each other and their children and believed they were blessed by God, which led them to isolate themselves from the outside world. In April 2019, David and Louise Turbin received a 25-year-to-life prison sentence, where they are still incarcerated today. Following their arrest, the Turbin children were separated into two groups, with the adults receiving support care and the underage children placed in foster homes. Jordan bravely escaped the house of horror, becoming a beacon of hope for the children trapped inside and the evil parents getting caught. But if you want a more chilling experience, check out another video on our channel that will surely give you goosebumps.